Hello my friends, you're listening to Ebird Online and it's Gino and Jasmine, a season roundup. And as we all know, Gino and Jasmine broke up every 3 to 5 working days, but that didn't stop the pair of nincompoops getting engaged with a perspex ring. And allegedly, this couple are soon to be married. And I have a couple of questions regarding this relationship. Firstly, what in God's name does Jasmine see in Gino? And secondly, why does Gino put up with Jasmine's manipulative and controlling ways? Yeah, just that really. But before I do a season deep dive, I just want to say to everybody, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for subscribing to my channel. You've made an old Ebird a very happy Ebird. But if you haven't done so yet, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoy the content. And so without further ado, I give you Gino and Jasmine. And so once again this week, Jasmine has once again proved to everybody she's reached the limit of craziness that one can be without being involuntarily sectioned. She is literally as mad as a box of frogs, but we'll get to that in time. We'll start as always at the beginning. And so guys, there are 3 main reasons that I think, what the hell does Jasmine see in Gino? And these are not just things that I think, there are about 1 million reasons that I think, what does she see in him? These 3 reasons are things that she's brought to the fore. And so the first problem is that Jasmine uses, well, quite interesting adjectives to describe her husband to be, Gino. So she told us last week that she thinks he's weird and creepy. Who says that if you're in love with someone? Weird and creepy. She hasn't just said it once, she's said it several times. And she also thinks that Gino dresses really badly. He does. And she thinks that his hat is a joke. And that's kind of true. But it's not really that funny when you compare it to his head. But guys, Jasmine is following Ximena up the rear. When you consider all of the names that she's called Gino throughout the season. She's called him badly dressed, weird, creepy, a depressing, sad man, and a pathetic human being. And I don't know what you guys think, but I think all of these adjectives very accurately describe exactly what Jasmine thinks of Gino. I don't know about you, but these aren't the type of things that I would say about my fiancé. They're just not. But every so often, Jasmine catches herself and she tries to let us all know that she thinks Gino is really, really good looking. No, you don't, Jasmine. Even Gino doesn't think he's really good looking. I bet if you went and asked his mum, even she doesn't think he's really good looking. You know as well as I do that Gino's the person that you hand the camera to when you want someone to take a group shot. And the second reason that I have my more than well-founded doubts about Jasmine's feelings for Gino is really the fact that she tells us she likes the finer things in life and she likes to live well. And she knows as well as we all do that Gino's very, very cheap. And so this week we saw them in the hotel room and she was moving bottles of wine around the room and she said, "Oh, Gino, you and your cheap wine." And he said, "Yeah, but it's good wine." She went, "Oh, but you're so cheap." She really does not miss an opportunity. And then also again this week, she said he's a very cheap, salty guy and he's very cautious about spending money. And the truth be told, I found this a little bit rich this week. I do know that Gino's quite tight, but he's now paying for Jasmine's rent, $700 a month on an apartment until she moves to New York. Let's have it right, Jasmine. You've only known him about 3 weeks in the flesh, so that's quite generous, I think. But oh no, she thinks it's no big deal because now we are together. What's the big deal about you spending to make me happy? And then guys, remember back to the time when she took him shopping in Panama and she got about, I think, $450 worth of clothes. And when he got to the till, once he realised just how much it was, he refused to buy anything and he walked out of the shop with not one single item. And who can forget the Christmas present? You know, the one that's every girl's dream. The one and only electric toothbrush. The one that no one in Panama has ever seen before. I try to do it without laughing, but I simply can't. Gino really thought he was gifting a third world peasant with an electric toothbrush. He really is cheap. Oh, but guys, the best is yet to come. She still doesn't know just how cheap her engagement ring was. In the not too distant future, she's about to watch the TV and see that he picked up a beautiful ring that was only $900. He balked at that. and virtually threw it back at the jeweller and picked up a yellow golden perspex ring for $250. When she asked if it was a diamond, he said, "I'm no expert in diamonds." You don't need to be, because it's clearly not a diamond, Gino. Something tells me that diamonds don't tend to go dull and get scuffed. And guys, that proved to me that even he knows he's cheap. Even he knows he's out of order. And Jasmine's yet to discover this horror. And guys, I kid you not, if you stood in front of Jasmine and threw a green card in the air and then also threw the opportunity out to call Gino a cheap MF, she wouldn't know which one to grab first. She'd probably grab the green card, but she'd lament for the rest of her days on planet Earth the missed opportunity of being able to call Gino a cheap MF just one more time. She loves it that much. And the third reason that I don't buy Jasmine's love for Gino is the fact that she doesn't trust him at all. She started out not trusting him at all, and halfway through the relationship he messaged somebody else her nudes. Yet still, somehow, she's still there. Make of that what you will. At any given opportunity, she demands the right to go through his phone. And in fact, no, not just demands the right, she actually goes through his phone. She also wants access to his emails. And whenever he leaves her side, he has to take photos and has to FaceTime her constantly so that she knows he is where he says he is. Jasmine claims this lack of trust is because she's been effed over in previous relationships. Haven't we all, love? Join the club. But I think we can all agree Jasmine goes way, way, way over the top. And I can't help but think it's set to get worse once she's actually in America with Gino. But if that wasn't bad enough, she has a complete lack of trust for Gino. But we all remember the time when she went out for her divorce party and had what she calls a lap dance and what I call a dry hump with a professional model. That's fine for her, no problem. If Gino had have done the same thing, she would have gone absolutely ballistic. And it's very strange to me that she offers and Gino accepts one rule for her and another rule for him. And then also we've got Legoland Gate. She skits out because in 2014, he took his ex-girlfriend to Legoland and forgot to tell her, "Jasmine, it's 8 years ago." He hasn't forgotten about Legoland, he's blocked it out. So boring was his time there. What is wrong with you? And then this week, on their final evening, their lovely meal to say goodbye to each other, yet again she went off kilter. Jasmine decided, because his ex-wife still has his surname, that she wanted him, no matter how he did it, to get his ex-wife to agree to change her name. As if. And Jasmine said, "I don't care how you do it or what you do, but you've got to let her know that she needs to change her name. I know one thing, if you've changed your name and it's on all your documents and everyone knows you as that new name, the chances of you deciding to change it are slim to none. But when you consider the fact that it's Jasmine, the new fiancé, who's demanding that you change your name, there's literally no chance that you'd do it. I know I wouldn't. I'm not sure what his ex-wife's first name is, but if I were her and somebody came to me with this horseshit request, I would, as a matter of urgency, change my first name to Gino. Now you've really got something to bloody complain about. But what difference does it make to Jasmine? She said, "You're still family. She's still linked to you." Oh, Jasmine, I'd wager she no longer wants to be linked to Gino in any meaningful way. But nor does she want to change her name on all her documents, her passport, driving licence and everything, on your say-so. But on the final night, she screamed and cried and was basically a massive ball ache over it. So much so that even the following day she said, "I'm so sorry, I don't know what came over me. I should have made our last night a beautiful night. Instead, I was a brat." Somehow, according to her, she can't help being a massive ball ache. And guys, she's yet to learn about the prenup. And we all know that's just another tantrum in the making. And so we come to Gino. What does Gino see in Jasmine? Jasmine's blow-ups are legendary. And to my mind, it's not just the fact that she blows up at him at any given time about any given issue. It's what she says when she blows up. She's nasty and mean. And then she gaslights him into believing that it's somehow all his fault. And Gino's accepted the following. Her kicking off about the waitress in the restaurant. How dare Gino try to give her a tip? It's pretty much the last time he wasn't being a tightwad on this holiday. The colours of the walls in his house, red and baby blue. Who would choose such a thing? The toothbrush as a present. Fair enough, that was pretty mean. And we had Legoland Gate, the totally understandable photo scandal, and many, many more tantrums. And at one point when Jasmine was arguing with Gino over the fact his ex-wife still has his surname. Am I crazy? A little bit, maybe. A little bit? No, a freaking lot. You're loco, as mad as a hatter, you're bat shit. That is what you are, Jasmine. But what's really interesting about this is the fact that she said to Gino, "You're going to work on it, right?" And Gino just weakly said, yes, I will. Gino, why are you agreeing to something that you're going to be unable to do? And also something which you know to be completely ludicrous and also absurd. But Gino is so superficial and so in love with the idea of going out with someone who's absolutely beautiful and fit that he'll agree to anything. Him agreeing to do something which he knows he's going to be unable to do is as ludicrous as him agreeing to pay $250 for the pleasure of taking a sugar babe out on a date. Gino has so few options with really good looking women that he either pays for it or puts up with absolute horseshit. And it would serve him better if he tried being a little bit less superficial and a little bit more homed in on trying to find somebody who's actually suitable for him. And on the final morning as Gino was leaving, after, as is obligatory by now, Jasmine crying and saying, "I'm so sorry for my behaviour, I ruined our last evening," she told Gino, "I feel like the saddest person on earth." Jasmine, I think you'll find that's Gino. And she said, "I wasted our last dinner arguing again. Please forgive me, baby, I'm sorry." And Gino said, "Of course I forgive you." Guys, I don't see the connection. I don't see what they have in common. Where are the lols? Where's the laughter? All she wants is an American for a green card, and all he wants is someone who's very, very fit. And as he was leaving, she said, "I'm going to send you sexy videos as usual." Really, Jasmine? You haven't learned by now he's untrustworthy? And Gino said, "Jasmine showed me more love than I've ever had from any woman." That's because, Gino, sugar babies who you're paying to go out with don't tend to show love, not like that anyway. So I don't see this relationship going the distance. But guys, let me know what you think. Do you think there's any real connection between these two? I know I certainly don't. So put your thoughts in comments down below and I'll get on with my next video. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and smash the like button if you've enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for listening. You've been listening to Ebird Online and I bid you good day.